Good morning and welcome to ABC News GH. You are watching ABC in the morning with me, ABENA MANTE. Today is a beautiful Tuesday morning. It's also the second day of December 2025. I hope by now you're already on your way to work or you are even at work. If you're on your way, have a safe trip to work. I wish you the very best of the day. I'm glad that this morning you have joined us here on ABC in the morning. I do not take it for granted at all that you're spending your morning with us here on ABC News GH. We're streaming live on YouTube and on Facebook, the YouTube channel ABC News GH, the Facebook page ABC News GH. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, I implore you to please subscribe to the channel and turn on post notifications. Hit that bell so that every time we are live or post any content on our YouTube channel, you will be the first to be notified. Similarly, on Facebook, if you have not liked the page yet, please like the page and also turn on post notifications for the page. I would love to read your comments on the stream, and so you can leave your comments there and I'd be glad to read it to the hearing of our viewers. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have so much to discuss today on the show. Yesterday at the Government Accountability Series, the Minister for Health took his turn, ABENA Mante Akando, to give us some updates on the zipline contract. He tells us that Ghana is paying for a woefully inadequate service in that instead of delivering essential products, essential medication, essential stuff, they're using the drones to deliver mosquito nets, condoms, and the like. And so the contract with Zipline really does not stand because it is not doing the work that it ought to do. We'll be bringing you so much conversations on that today on the show. We'll also turn our attention to some more conversations on our main discussion, and would love to have you go on with us for that. Today we'll take a look at the president receiving 10 petitions for the removal of the EC chair and her deputies and also the special prosecutor. 10 petitions. And so the president has forwarded these petitions to the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court to take a look at these petitions. 10 petitions, quite a number. We'll also take a look at the Pandai seat. You recall that yesterday was the 1 week period within which we should have seen some determination based on the Pandai MP and his lawyers asking for a stay of execution. Well, the Pandai MP, Matthew Nyindam, is going to the Supreme Court. And why is he going to the Supreme Court? He wants there to be an overturn of the order that a parliamentary election should be rerun in Pandai. And so we'll take a look at these conversations here on ABC in the morning. We'll bring you the latest in the world of sports, and you don't want to miss out on that at all. And we'll also open the phone lines where you can call us and share your thoughts with us. That is where you get all the opportunity to speak your mind, and we'll be so glad to hear from you. We'll also bring you happy hour where we'll send best wishes to persons who are celebrating their birthdays. And so if you have anybody celebrating their birthday today, send us a message on Instagram, on Facebook, on X, on TikTok. Send their message, send a picture of the person, and let's celebrate them on your behalf. If they're celebrating their birthday, they're celebrating any milestone, whatever they're celebrating, we'll be glad to celebrate with them on your behalf. We have all of these here on ABC in the morning today here on ABC News GH, and so you don't want to miss out on it at all. And as today is Tuesday, the 2nd of December, I'll tell you what I always tell you: keep hope and faith alive. Do not give up, do not relent, do not throw in the towel. Continue to work so hard towards your goals, towards your dreams, towards your aspirations, and you will be able to achieve them all. I am rooting for you, and I'm also praying for you. Thank you for joining me here today on ABC in the morning. I'll take a break. After this very quick break, I'll begin with a front story. Stay with me.
Magic Pepper and Onion, a delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yenini na da da da. So pa, mediane no abe.
Come on, Gino, do your magic.
And papa, no kunu abefi.
Tasty magic.
And your daddy trying to kiss keke.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Rent back with the beer open. Come on, come and see what. Wait, this guy. My friend, see before.
It's the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telecel Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telecel Play app to obtain and start winning in the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is campaign? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto etiaka. Inti ene, uno banu mpe baby amobeda. Oh, no abeka. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
You're welcome back. You're still watching ABC in the morning. It's time for Front Story, and we'll take a look at Zip Line. The Zip Line drone service has been one that has been providing some essential services within our health sector. It's come to play a very pivotal role since its inception, or since the beginning of the service. Not long ago, about a few days ago, almost about a week ago, Honorable Ayuwe, a member of the Health Committee in Parliament, raised concerns about the halting of the zipline services. His concerns were that within some areas, the ranking member, Honorable Ayuwe, mentioned that the zipline drone services had been halted. One of the areas he mentioned was even the Minister for Health's constituency or community. It raised concerns. The conversations started from there. Ziplines, very important. Medicines that need to be transported to inaccessible areas or very inaccessible areas. You to halt them, then there should be an issue. And so the conversation has been rife. Yesterday, the Minister for Health, Honorable Minta Kando, had the opportunity to address the public and give an account of his ministry so far. And during his account, he talked about the contractual integrity of the Zipline drone delivery service. And he said that they had been challenged because the scheme is suffering. There's something that the scheme should be doing but is not doing. Instead of providing medication as it should, important medications, now Zipline is only transporting condoms, transporting textbooks, transporting mosquito nets, and this is the majority of the stuff or the things that Zipline is delivering. But you know what? The minister talks about it because he says these are non-essential things. They are non-emergency things or items. The main idea is to transport medication and very essential stuff. And so because of this, Zipline would have to see a halt, would have to take a look at it again because it's costing Ghanaians a lot of money. The contract is not a contract that is in our interest. This is what the minister says. Well, let's have some conversations and go to the Ministry of Health. Tony Goodman is the spokesperson for the ministry. Good morning, Mr. Goodman. Thank you for your time.
Good morning, Minister. I hope all is well.
Fine, thank you, sir. I hope you're also doing well.
I'm blessed by His grace.
Many people are concerned, Mr. Goodman, about this conversation about Zipline, because for those in very rural areas that are quite inaccessible or will find it difficult accessing drugs at the ready, halting the services of Zipline will be a very big blow to them. Has the minister taken into account all of these before coming to this conclusion, sir?
Thank you. Good morning to our listeners. Yes, we have actually done some assessments. We've had discussions with the Zipline company. We've spoken with others in the health sector, those who actually understand health system strengthening and all that. And we realized that this paying 279 million for a contract that was supposed to be free, and also paying $88,000 for per center, per 6 centers. If you do the math, puts what we have actually delivered and then the services of the Zipline, it will be better to use these resources judiciously, use them in where it will help the people of this country, where we can link that system to the current systems we have and not to have an isolated system. If you also believe that this system is supposed to be providing some percentage of work and it's only delivering about 1 or 2% work, you just have to weigh the options and take a decision. As we speak, we're still having a conversation with the Zipline company to see whether the amount of money we are paying cannot be looked at, whether their work in Ghana compared to other countries should not be looked at. We have a different system in Ghana. Our system is a solid healthcare system, and why are we paying this huge amount of money?
Okay.
So these are some of the things we are looking at. With your analysis regarding some people in some communities not receiving. In the past, we had a very good commodity distribution where we have the central medical store, the region, and then the district as a way of keeping essential medicine for usage. You can fly a drone to an area where there may not be a specialist to even do what you want that person to do. Our healthcare system has levels. Every cadre or every facility has what he or she or it can do. So you can fly a drone If it's on a request, fine. But if I fly a drone into an area and that medication cannot be administered, if you fly a blood from one location to the other, it has to be matched by a specialist. So if you don't have all these systems in place, you may not be saving life. So we believe that having a proper healthcare system that links with all of these things, all the things we are losing, it's the ideal way to go. If you are introducing free primary health care, and this is going to take place at the CHIPS compound, at the polyclinics, it means that we need to strengthen that place. I live in Accra, Blekuma. So if I don't have drone in Blekuma, and I have any emergency, who takes care of me? How would I be saved? So we need to look at the system properly, not what we have currently. Looking at the money. We need to do something for the people.
You talk about CHIPS compound, not to digress, but I just want to stay on it for just a little bit. So it means that the minister is still intent on the building of CHIPS compound. Some have raised concerns that rather than build CHIPS compound, which at the moment would not do the most when it comes to healthcare delivery, why don't we upgrade the decision or the idea to a better service than a CHIPS compound, so that there will be better healthcare delivery?
So I mentioned the free primary healthcare. What the CHIPS compound is supposed to be doing, because of lack of money, which is preventive, promotive, and curative. The curative will be taken care of by National Health Insurance. But what about the preventive and promotion? Going to the various homes to check the number of people in the house, what disease burden do you have in the house, whether they have the complement of amenities where they live, and then periodically advising them, going to visit pregnant women. In Accra, you may not see them. In Kumasi, you may not see them. But if you go outside Accra, I remember we went to Ethiopia just recently, and then we're going to study CHIPS concept. And they told us that we actually picked this concept from Ghana, because we picked it from Bangladesh in, I think, 1983, and we started implementing this. They came to learn it in Ghana, and it's working. If you don't have the facility close to the people, you wouldn't be able to save lives. And when we decided that we want to know what is actually causing death, and that we are having this ward D in Konfanoche, we realized that you need to build peripherals, build facilities across the region, than to have one Konfanoche. By the time the person gets there, is dead. We built Tepa, Kumeu, Wamena, and all that, so that you take care of the people before. So you need to decentralize even those ones further to the communities. The free primary health care is going to strengthen the CHIPS compound, to strengthen the polyclinics. So you will have them at real time taking care of us.
The CHIPS compound, that was just an addition. That this zipline contract was at the beginning supposed to be a own and obtain. How did it? The minister talks about when he says that it is a take or pay contract. How did this evolve from that angle to what we see now?
Unfortunately, the line, I think the council was breaking it, but I would answer it in a way. The contract was actually supposed to be free. When you read the Hansard that actually saw the passage of this contract, the Minister for Health at the time went to Parliament to tell Parliament that the reason why the contract was not signed by the Minister for Finance, it's because it's going to be free. The people of this country are not going to pay any money for this contract. And I remember when I was at the Ministry of Health in the past, we had that contract coming in. It was free. So when I left and I heard that we were being paid or charged for them, I was surprised. It was a free thing that was coming because they wanted to help strengthen after the Ebola in African countries. They wanted to strengthen our system with adding that one to it. And then it became, we're paying for it. But thankfully, we got the answer. It's a free contract. But some way, somehow, we managed to charge the people of this country. And we've paid almost $279 million for this thing. And then every month we pay $88 million. Minister, just look at this. Can't we do something? We can even buy helicopters to help emergencies. If actually it's emergency, we want to actually use a drone, so we can use helicopters and then transport medications to these areas. And they become one of the things we can be using even have emergencies.
So the question is, if at the beginning it was supposed to be free, how did it evolve into what we see the contract as it is now, the take or pay portion of the contract?
This one, I will have to ask, direct you to speak to the then minister, Honorable Jiman. He will be best, the best person to answer this question. How all of a sudden a document that is supposed to be giving us some support, we are now paying for it.
Mr. Goodman, yesterday at the press briefing, the minister tells us that the ministry is in talks with Zipline concerning the contract and everything about the delivery system. What are the objectives for the talks that the ministry is in with Zipline?
Well, it's a contract. It's a contract they've signed, and they've also delivered some, and they believe that Ghana owes them some amount of money we need to pay. So we are having a conversation with them, trying to look at all the payments we've made, whether there was value for money, whether or not what we asked them to do is what they did, whether we are supposed to pay, whether we should not pay. All of these things are on the table for discussion.
At this point where the minister talks about the delivery of essentials like condoms, mosquito nets, and the like, have Zipline been able to give reasons for which it moved from delivering essential medication to hard to reach areas to now delivering condoms, textbooks, mosquito nets, and the like?
We know why they added all of these things to their contract.
Sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Goodman, I did not catch that. I was asking that have they, at Zipline, given a reason why they moved from delivering the essential medications or the essential items to the non-essentials that the minister mentioned, the condoms, textbooks, mosquito nets, and the like?
Yes, so I was saying that I'm sure by the time we finish this discussion, we'll be able to know why they added all of these to the work they were doing.
At the moment, we do not know that.
No, we actually don't know.
Okay.
But I remember recently the white boss hung them for delivering papers to some communities for them. That's recently. So I'm sure they have a different arrangement, but we'll get to know at the end of the discussions and negotiations.
We have these discussions and negotiations. At this point, we can we infer that the ministry is leaning more towards cancelling the contract than keeping it?
The ministry is leaning towards the people of this country, what will be best for Ghana, whether or not if we maintain it, it will be good, or whether if it's cancelled, it will be good. Or if we have our own system, it will be good. Or whether if we decentralize all the things we are doing currently, it will be good. That is what we are linked towards. We have no any other motive but to make sure that the people of this country receive the best.
In all of your research you've been doing so far, due diligence, I'm sure by now you could rank them, your decisions on a scale of preference. So which of them is reigning higher at the moment, Mr. Goodman?
Reigning higher. I will be able to say because it has not come up. When I'm sure when we are done, those that will come up higher will let you know.
Mr. Goodman, when you talk about these infractions within the contract and how it has moved from a free service at the beginning to now paying, costing Ghanaians a lot, have you identified persons who are complicit in this bloating of contracts to the point where we should look forward to having the nation take them on?
So when we talk about complexes, we don't know. We only know those who actually were in the ministry before today. Those who were in the ministry were Honorable Ajima Menu, and Honorable Okoboy, the superintendent over the ministry throughout the period we saw these contracts running. So maybe they are the only people we can direct these whole discussions to.
Since you saw these issues reared their heads up, have you been in talks with them since they were the heads of the ministry at the time?
We're currently speaking to the contract, speaking to the contract document, the executor of the contract. And then if there is a need, we don't do, we are not supposed to be looking at, we don't do investigation into criminal or whether or not the matter is criminal or not. Those ones will be dealt with by other state institutions.
We don't even mean it in the criminal sense of it. There were two people also pretending the ministry. They handed over a ministry to you because there was a change in government, and so you came to meet some new things. The question is, have you had any conversations with them concerning things that you may not have been too clear about?
Yes, for us, those we have the conversation with are those who actually are part of the implementation, not the political heads. You have people within the institution who actually were part of it, so you speak to them and speak to the contractors.
I ask that because some of the questions you said that it would be right we directed them to the former health minister, and seeing as we have a current health minister, one would have thought that maybe the current health minister and the former health minister may have had some talks or conversations to clear certain doubts that could be there, or to give you a certain headway to see what has happened in the period within which the former health minister was health minister.
You are doing well. You want me to still talk about it, but we are having discussion with various people, including the contractors. So when we are done with this discussion, I will let you know. We will come back to you and tell you what has come out.
Please stay with me. Let's just look at the health insurance levy quickly. The minister talks about the need for an upward adjustment, and the adjustment more than 100%, some 120%. Is that the best adjustments the minister can propose for us at the moment, and why do we need such a steep adjustment?
No, the minister talked about the uncapping of the national health insurance, which is first fetching the scheme a lot of money and making a prompt payment to providers. It's also talked about the Mahama Cares, which is also being funded by the proceeds of the national health insurance, and mentioned that the free primary health care is going to be hinged on the health insurance. And for that reason, there will be some upward adjustments so that we can have enough money to take care of all of these. These things we are doing is we are not doing them in abstract. We are doing them because we've realized what Ghanaians are going through. I don't know whether you've not had people come to your station to request for some adverts or some public service announcement for people to help them or donate towards a relative or something. So, and we have also realized that a lot of people are dying because of the disease burdens we have in terms of non-communicable. So, as quickly as possible, what do we do to save this life? So, this is the tangent we want to quickly go, because health financing is crucial. If you don't have the resources, it's going to be difficult for you to take care of your people. You will also be aware that U.S. aid is no more. Some of the aid we're getting in the past have also dwindled. We now have to look for money internally. That is where the world is going. You remember the Sovereignty Summit. It's internal resource generation. That is where the whole world is looking at. So these are some of the measures we need to quickly take to save our people.
Are Ghanaians in the financial capacity to pay an upward adjustment of 120%? Are we able to?
We are able to save ourselves, we are able to make sure that we are safe. You see, Ghanaians would pay if they get prompt care. If they go to hospital, they get prompt care. They don't mind. But in the past, they were paying, but they go and then they have to pay out of pocket because the scheme wasn't working. But if it's working now, why not? So you and I, we'll go to hospital and we are taken care of. That is our joy. But we don't pay and then go and have issues. So yes, it is for the good of the people of this country. All of these things are happening.
All right. Well, finally, with regards to our record keeping in our hospitals, Mr. Goodman, for a while now, Ghanaians are bemoaning. They are complaining about having to go through the very manual system that you'd regularly go through some time past. I can attest to it. I've visited the hospital a couple of times, and then we've had to fill in forms. Now you cannot access your previous history. When should we be expecting from the ministry that this issue is solved so that we can have our history back? This is very important for persons, especially those who have chronic diseases.
So when we had this issue, the other system being taken off the vendor, we quickly had to reconstruct some of the data. So we reconstructed the data, and then as we speak to you, we've gotten some. The minister mentioned that some of the data are currently available. The only one we don't have other facility ones, and these ones as I speak to you, they are currently going through reconstruction.
We have all of the data after the reconstruction.
Not all, but we have majority of the data after the reconstruction.
Mr. Goodman, wouldn't this be irresponsible with regards to our health? We know how health is very important, and having to rely on your history helps your case very, very well. And so if we do not get all of the data or our history back, isn't this very, very terrible for the health of the people? Aren't you doing us a disservice?
Yes, it's bad. It is not something we envisage, because to just get to a system where somebody outside was rather holding our data and was playing with it. It is the initial contract that was signed that put us in this light. So we are rather making sure that we do our utmost best to get the data for Ghanaians. You remember the contracts? Actually, the vendor was rather holding our documentation, holding our data. So we are reconstructing them.
Can't we collect our data back from the vendor? In this case, these
outside this country.
Well,
and they have all the data. You remember the Honorable Minister for Health mentioned that we have done all that we could to get him to give us this data, and he said no, he won't give us until we sign a contract with him.
Saying
what
that
we are doing is to make sure that we don't sit and complain, but go to work and make sure that we save the people some.
Are you saying that the vendor of the LMHS is holding Ghanaian medical records to ransom?
Yeah, I was working for this.
Are you saying that the vendor is holding Ghanaian medical records to ransom?
Yes, that is actually why we have to reintroduce a different system, which is the games. Because data is with the old vendor. And he said, you won't give us this data. We have to sign a contract again with him. But we thought that we need to move away from the old system, keep our own data. And so we are able to build this current system, which is owned by Ghana. The data sits with Ghana. It's managed by Ghanaians. So that is what we have.
Current system, are you telling us that since the contract expired, you're building the data from now? Is this what you're saying, Mr. Goodman?
We are not building the data from now. I said we have reconstructed because they were not giving us the data. We do not have access to the old data. We have Ghanaians who have knowledge in this area and are helping us reconstruct all the data. We've managed to construct most of them, on to construct the rest of the data.
Hold me for just a moment. When you say we are reconstructing the data, what exactly do you mean in the very layman's term?
The data is with somebody, and we are using other means to get them into our system.
Means, what do you mean? What do you mean by other means, Mr. Goodman?
What do I mean by other means?
I want to appreciate the other means you're using.
If I mention, you said layman's language, if I mention another means, you will not understand. So the only means that will make you understand is getting the data. Reconstruction, you said, is a bit difficult. So we are getting the data through a different means.
All right. We'll come back to you because we want to really appreciate it. This is our medical records, and to hear that our medical records are being held at ransom or to ransom by a vendor, that is very disheartening to hear as a nation. Medical records are very important. They inform the care that our health, our caregivers or our health personnel give us when we go to the hospital, and so we'll look forward to it. And so beyond this, beyond the vendor holding on to the medical records, what are some of the things that the ministry is putting in place so that we can also get from them without signing the contract? Because if somebody holds something to ransom, it goes to suggest that it is illegal.
Yes, it's illegal, but we've reported to the appropriate state institution. Yoko is aware, the Attorney General is aware, so they are also doing their bit. Okay, they are in talks with them. That is for the other state agencies to do. Our work as a ministry is to make sure that quickly our hospital rounds with RH. That is what we have done by providing a different system.
What is the timeline for which we'll see this different system running fully and efficiently?
As I speak to you, about 20 facilities have been rolled on. If you go to Confranoche, if you go to Ho Teaching Hospital, Tamale Teaching Hospital, Dansman Polyclinic, Ridge Hospital, Adabaka, and others, they have been rolled onto this new platform. We hope that by the end of the year, we'll have a substantial facility on this new platform.
All right, Mr. Goodman, thank you for your time this morning. We appreciate it. Tony Goodman is the spokesperson for the Ministry of Health. We've been looking at the Zipline medical drone delivery system that is available, and that the ministry is in talks with Zipline. Mr. Goodman, thank you so much for your time this morning, sir.
My pleasure.
Well, and so that is all for our conversation this morning on ABC in the morning here on Front Story. We'll take a break. When we return, we'll bring you more on the show. Stay with us.
To do my wedding jollof.
Oh, Kwame. You know our secret, right?
Yeah.
Efia.
Yes, me. I've got it.
Now, add your Chino jollof mix.
The perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time. And there you have it, your original Ghana jollof.
Jollof soko.
Jollof soko. Tasty nie.
What is going on here?
Enjoy jollof the Ghana way. Gino jollof is made with the perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time.
This advert is FDA approved.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
I've seen my deputy minister responsible for health, the chief director of the ministry, the CEO of Ghana National Health Insurance Authority. I've seen the directors from the ministry. Ladies and gentlemen, I am excited to take this opportunity through this medium to account to the people of this country the happenings in the health sector vis-a-vis the 2026 budget. The 2026 budget is the most people-focused and health-centered budget I have seen recent years. And it aligns so well with the resetting agenda. And we all know we cannot have a productive country without paying attention to the health sector. It is well known that the health of the people in every nation is the wealth of the nation. So you cannot have a prosperous nation without a very strong health sector. And it is His Excellency the President's belief that provision of quality health care is a matter of right and not a privilege. We also know that across the globe, every dollar you invest in the health sector, you are likely to get 2 or 3 folds of economic returns. And therefore, we all know that the health sector is critical, and we see the expenditure not as a cost, but as an investment. To begin with, this year, the 2026 budget has seen some 34 billion Ghana cedi allocation. 34 billion Ghana cedis. And that is obviously about 9.4% in increase in the 2023 budget, and then it also represents more than 11% of the total expenditure in 2026. Out of these amounts, we have the National Health Insurance Scheme that takes around 11 billion. And as I indicated the last time, we are voted into power to solve problems. And so we inherited some challenges with respect to the National Health Insurance Scheme. If you all recall, the National Health Insurance was capped, and it was bedeviled with delay in the payment of claims, unrealistic payment of tariffs, and a lot more, co-payments. And so since we took office, His Excellency, one of the policy directives he gave was to uncap the National Health Insurance, so it still remains uncapped, and there is now prompt releases of funds to the National Health Insurance Fund. Gone were the days where you hear service providers shouting on top of their voices on the rooftop that they were going to withdraw services because they were not receiving payment. And this is no more the case as I speak to you now. In some cases, my CEO will have to call even some of the service providers to bring their claims for payment. That is the current status of the National Health Insurance Authority. And so it is not by coincidence that there is a lot of confidence in the National Health Insurance Scheme. The coverage was around 18 million people as at the time we took office, and I can confidently report that in a matter of less than 1 year, we are around 20 million people, which represent about 60% coverage. And beginning next year, we are going to increase the tariffs in the national health insurance to the service providers, because it is something that the service providers have been complaining about, that the tariffs we give them are unrealistic. And so government has taken the decision to increase the tariffs about 120% on average. And I believe this is going to be a game changer. Again, we all know that primary health care accounts to about 80% of our health needs, especially in this country. And so when we have our primary health care right, I think that we'll have a very strong health sector. So His Excellency the President has directed that beginning next year, we have to roll out what we call free primary health care. And we'll be looking, in addition to the curative, we'll be looking at enhanced promotive health care, we'll be looking at enhanced preventive health care, and that will give rise to the early detection of the diseases, not even get to the complication stage. And some 1.5 billion Ghana cedis has been allocated for the free primary health care. And let me be quick to add that this will still fall under the National Health Insurance Scheme. We are not going to reinvent the wheel, and so it will fall directly under the National Health Insurance Scheme. We are in to solve problems. Again, about 4 out of every death we record in this country is due to non-communicable diseases. About 4,000 people are diagnosed of cancers every year. 1 out of every 3 adults we see in the street is hypertensive. Diabetes is rising. And so His Excellency promised the good people of this country to have solution to this problem. Hence the establishment of Ghana Medical Trust Fund, popularly known as Mahama Cares. I am happy to report that the status of Mahama Care is that, 1, the bill has been passed into an act, the board has been inaugurated, the secretariat is in full operation, and therefore they've started disbursement for patients' care at the moment. Maybe before we end this session, I'll put out their telephone numbers so that if you want to have access to them, you can do so. And it's a very simple procedure you may have to go through. Your specialist medical doctor may have to apply on your behalf, and once it gets to the secretariat, within 14 days they must respond to your application. And so Mahama Cares has also been allocated an amount of about 2.3 billion. So they are not worse, there are no more promises. These policies are seeing figures allocated to them, and it is not ordinary figures, as we have already demonstrated in the national health, in the case of the National Health Insurance Scheme. We will do prompt releases. In fact, let me put it on record that since the establishment or inception of the National Health Insurance Scheme, no government has been able to pay promptly like we are doing today. No government. No government. Again, infrastructure. We now have 16 regions. And so 6 out of the 16 regions have lived for the past 7 years without any regional hospital. His Excellency promised the good people of this country that he was going to construct 6 regional hospitals in regions where there are none. Fortunately enough, in 2026 budget, we are going to begin the construction of 3 regional hospitals, namely the Savannah region, the OT region, and the Western North region. And some 600 million Ghana cedis has been allocated to that effect. So when I say this budget is health-centered, I mean it, and I know exactly what I'm talking about. In as much as we are constructing new district hospitals and new regional hospitals, His Excellency the President has again directed that no uncompleted health facility will be abandoned. We will continue to pursue La General Hospital, Confanoche Maternity Block, Sewia Regional Hospital, Agenda 111, and all other CHIPS compounds. Don't forget that every district is supposed to construct not less than 2 CHIPS every year, and that would add up to our numbers. Retooling a health center is not just the building, the personnel, the building, and of course the tools, the equipment. The medical, our status of medical equipment in our health facilities is very dire. The situation is very dire. The last time we did a major retooling in this country was His Excellency John Dramani Mahama I administration, the first administration. Since then, our health facilities have been suffering. We have reports that indicate that more than 50% of our CHIPS compounds do not have basic equipment, basic ones. And therefore, as part of the free primary health care, we are going to retool our primary health facilities to have the basic equipment to be able to deliver, to give real meaning to free primary health care. We are not only going to do that, we are seeking to establish 3 catheterization centers, namely the Kolebu Teaching Hospital, the Confanoche Teaching Hospital, and the Tamale Teaching Hospital. We are buying DNA testing machine. The last time I said that, I saw a lot of infographs about me and suggesting that I was going to insist on compulsory paternity tests. I'm sorry, that was not coming from me. So you must disregard that. And so we are going to buy DNA testing machine for Noguchi Memorial Institute, and Mahama Cares will also be seeking to retool some of our teaching hospitals and then the regional hospital to be able to treat the non-communicable diseases. In all this, we have brought the private sector in because government cannot do it all alone, where we'll be looking at the private sector bringing their equipment to the health facilities, and they will be paid. When they put up their claims, they will be paid either by the National Health Insurance Scheme or by Mahama Cares. Now we have more than one health financing scheme, and so that is what we are doing. With respect to the workforce development, out of the 34 billion Ghana cedis, some 16.7 billion has been allocated as compensation. And so we'll continue to pay the 13,500 nurses we put on the payroll this year alone. We are distributing not less than 700 medical doctors across the length and breadth of this country. And His Excellency the President has directed that we send these medical doctors to where they are needed most, especially the districts. I'm sorry to say that we have more than almost 50% of the medical doctors we have in this country in the Greater Accra. And therefore, let me take this opportunity to appeal to the medical officers we are posting here at the moment, not to see this policy as punishment, but as an attempt for equitable distribution of the workforce we have in this country.
You're welcome back. You're still watching ABC in the morning live on ABC News GH. We took you to the presser yesterday, Government Accountability Series, where the Minister for Health, Honorable Kwabena Minta Kando, had the opportunity to bring us up to speed to what has been happening within the health ministry. But now let's get straight into our main discussion for today. We have conversations to look at. We'll begin with the Pandai seat. Tamale High Court said that have a rerun. I'm ordering a rerun for the parliamentary seat in Pandai. Matthew Nyindam and his lawyers sought an appeal where they wanted there to be a stay of execution of this result or this election. Now, Majority Chief Whip says, declare the seat vacant. Speaker says, I cannot declare the seat vacant until that period of request for stay of execution elapses, which elapsed yesterday, and beyond that he will make his determination. Today is Tuesday. We understand that Parliament will sit, and when Parliament sits, we'll see what Speaker does. Beyond that, Pandai MP Matthew Nyindam says I'm not satisfied with all that's happening. I'm going to the Supreme Court, and to the Supreme Court I go to ask that the High Court's order be overturned. So this is where we have come to in this issue of the Bandai parliamentary seat. We'll have some conversations. We will be joined by Honorable Alexander Kwesi-Akwa, the MP for Achim Dan. At the moment, joining me via Zoom is Mahdi Jibril, Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC. Good morning, Mahdi. Thank you for your time, sir. Hello, Mahdi. Good morning. Hello, Mahdi. If you can hear me, sir, kindly unmute your microphone so that we can also hear you. Okay, we will establish better contact with Deputy Director of Elections and IT for the NDC, Mahdi Jibril, so that we can have some conversations on this matter. The last time we spoke with him, that was about a week ago. He said he was on his way to Bandai. The NDC were going to be on grounds and then do all of the campaigning to ensure that when the rerun of election occurs, the judge had given a 30-day window or a 30-day period for which the election should be rerun. He said that the NDC were going to be on ground to ensure that they win the seat. Now that the MP, Matthew Nyindam, has gone all the way to the Supreme Court, he's on his way to the Supreme Court so that Supreme Court overturns the decision. What happens? In any case, Matthew Nyindam says that he is challenging the jurisdiction of the High Court for hearing the case. His reason being that this case was filed outside of the 21-day period that you're giving to be able to file an election petition. And so for him, he's going to the Supreme Court because High Court did not have the jurisdiction to hear the case, and particularly the High Court in Tamale. Hello, Mahdi Jibril. Good morning, and thank you for your time, sir.
Good morning.
Are you still in Bandai, as you said you would be the last time we spoke with you?
Let me say good morning to your viewers. I've just returned back to Accra.
Okay.
From Bandai, yes. I just returned back from Bandai.
Okay. And how was the feeling like in Bandai? For you as the NDC, are you getting any positive feedback that the people of Bandai will be giving the seat to you?
Oh, we are sure of the seats that will win, God willing, if the election comes off. There's no election that is easy for one to pick, especially when it's a rerun or by elections.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll work for it and to win it.
Okay. Well, since the High Court gave its decision, its ruling that there should be a rerun of the elections within 30 days, a lot has happened. The MP for the area at the moment, Matthew Nyindam, said that, or he proceeded to the appeals court or the Court of Appeal. His request was that there be a stay of the order or the ruling by the court at the High Court. Beyond that, he's now going to the Supreme Court to challenge the ruling of the High Court. Not only to challenge it, but also to request that this be nullified, because he believes that the High Court did not have jurisdiction to hear the case, seeing as you as the NDC filed this case outside of the 21-day window.
You know, it's allowed for us to test laws at any given time. Mm-hmm. It's allowed. But this is one of the process that is laughable.
Why do you say so?
11 months into the case, in this case, the lawyers were there. All this process went through. And today they are telling us, they're going to court to say that we filed the case outside the period of 21 days. They have the right to go to court, but it doesn't mean that going to court means that you're going to win the case. Because I'm here to see what date are they referring to that the Gazette was published. If they're able to prove the date that the Gazette was published and it's a wrong date, then we'll take it from there. But I believe that we're within time when we file the case, especially when the MPP themselves, the MP himself, challenged the jurisdiction of the case in the beginning at the High Court, citing the same issue at the Supreme Court. But the court ruled against it, and then they continued the case till this date. So I'm surprised that they are going back to this gymnastic of issues. But I'm not surprised. It is something that we knew that they would do, knowing very well that MPP have an election to go into January 21st. So they'll play this gymnastic to allow time to pass for them to have time to do their elections. Other than that, there's nothing that they will get out of this case.
Well,
the Supreme Court.
Madi, can you furnish us with the dates on which you filed this petition? Or
the case was filed on 26th January. Gazette was published on the 6th January. The Gazette was published on the 6th January. Now, if you take from 6th January to 26th, how many days do we have? So it's 21 days before the 21 days. So I don't see why they are going to court to go and waste our time on this one. You see, one thing they've forgotten. You remember in 2024, before the swearing of this MP, member of parliament, we were having some constituencies outstanding, especially Ablekumanov. You remember Ablekumanov was still in the contention before the swearing of new MPs. And then Dominic Kwabena. So at that time, we still were struggling to finalize and to publish the Gazette to allow MPs to be sworn in Parliament. So the Gazette, if you check, the document is available. The Gazette was published on the 6th January and was released on the 10th January. So I don't know where they are coming from, but we knew that they would do this gymnastics, so I'm not worried about it at all.
Well, according to the counsel for Matthew Nyindam, you should have the results were officially published in the government's gazette on 24th December, and you filed your petition on the 25th January, making it some 11 days more than you required.
I'm saying that Gazette, the 2024 parliamentary results was gazetted on and published, because the word is published on the 6th January and then was released on 10th January. I don't know where they are coming from, these numbers of 24th and 23rd. I don't know. Did they gazette Dominic Kwabena on the 24th? Because Dominic Kwabena, as at 29th of January, December, we were still struggling on Dominic Kwabena.
So in this case, as they are heading to the Supreme Court, Madi, as a party, as Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC, are you ready to meet them in the Supreme Court on this matter?
We've been there before. I said no, we went there. At the end of the day, we went for elections. we are ready for everything. We met them in the Supreme High Court. We won the case. Supreme Court, we are only going for interpretation of the issues. We believe that we'll win the case. That's why we have started preparing for the elections.
In some conversations we've had with the MP Matthew Nyindam, he says that this whole issue is just a personal targeting. He has been targeted, his seat has been targeted, and it is your decision as a party, NDC, to take his seat away from him. So much so that your representatives, when I say you, I mean MPs that run on your ticket as NDC within Parliament, have conducted themselves such that it goes to prove that this is personal.
So if I may ask him, as enough, was it personal? When President John Mahama was petition when he was petitioned in 2012, was it personal? When Nanado was petitioned in 2020, was it personal? Is Matthew saying that there's no petition in our laws that after elections, a candidate that contested the elections is the one that will petition, but not the political party? He can say anything, but petition, you cannot petition political party in elections. It is the individual who went for election that you petition. That's what the law says. So if he doesn't understand that the law says that you should petition a candidate, and he's saying that because it was petition, it is personal, then I'm sorry. If this is our lawmaker in parliament, I think that it's good that we should make sure that he doesn't go to parliament again. Because these are the kind of materials we say we have in parliament. Who knows that when you are going for elections petition, it is not against political party, but it is against individual who contest the elections. And he says it's personal. So who should we petition? Should we petition Baumia or MPP, which is the law doesn't allow you to do? I'm sorry for this kind of argument that he's holding.
Well, he talks about the fact that he's won the elections with quite a margin, over 3,000 votes, when his opponent, Mr. Watbao, won ahead of him in the 2020 elections with some 2,000. He was able to allow the seat to go to the NDC. This time when he even has more numbers than in the 2020 election. You are going against him. This is just to frustrate him as a person.
You see, I think that Matthew has been a member of parliament as our lawmaker. How does he argue like this? When you rig elections and get more numbers, so we should allow that one to stay. When you rig elections, when the returning officer aided you to send the collation to North Tamale without telling the other candidate that I'm sending collation to North Tamale, and you went in to do your own things, and you had more numbers, you say that we should allow that one to stay. This argument is pushing, it's neither here or not there. So let us see what the Supreme Court will say, and then we'll take it from there.
Well, in all of this, we know that the seat is what you want as a party, that Daniel Nsala Watpa will be the one who wins the seat because obviously he's from your party. But the broader picture, what is the end goal for you as a party on this tangent that you're on?
We are enhancing democracy in the country. Because democracies allowed for us not to go into war when we dispute on the issues. There's a rerun, there's a by-elections, there's a walkout, there's even denial to contest elections. We are political parties that obey laws. When there's a rerun, we participate. Because if we don't go into the rerun or by-elections, are we ready as a political party to contest any election at all in the country? So it's not just because numbers, but because we are enhancing our democracy. When there are disputes, you go to court to resolve it. When the court rules that it's a rerun, you go for it. You conduct the election in a peaceful manner, and you have a candidate. Because what we are looking for in the future, for every person that will go to parliament, to be elected by the people legally. So that people having numbers other than that in the future. People will just sit somewhere and they're allowing, after people are campaigning to spend resources and everything, somebody, a presiding officer, returning officer, somebody somewhere can just manipulate the result and get somebody to be in parliament. That is not what we want in this country. What we want in this country is that we want people to go to parliament, people to be president of this country, to be assembly members, by the virtue that the people legally voted for them with that issue, even if you win by one vote or not.
Concerns have been raised that the NDC is doing all of these things because of the numbers, the huge numbers that you have, and so because you have the numbers, you believe you can bully your way through in parliament. Seeing as you were able to get Ablekuma North, you were able to get Makwetia, and so that is the next seat that you have paid attention to, especially in some of the comments that you made in the early days of swearing in, that you are going for seats that you believe you should have taken from the NPP. And so having all of the numbers behind you and the overwhelming majority that you have and the incumbency advantage that you have, this is just your way of bullying your way through to any seat that you want.
And this will be an unfortunate statement, but you will allow political party to say this. ABP can say this thing. This is what all of us will do. But before the swearing in, there was indication of all these cases that we are talking about. There is whom there's a Blekmanov, there was Abuasi. All these areas were there. There was those that we went to court. The court told us that we went outside the time. Remember Techima South? When we went to Techima South, we went to Techima South, we petitioned, but the court threw our case out. So if we say we are going for seats that belongs to us after going to elections, we didn't intend to go to court to win seats. Our intention was to win the seats clear at the polling station and the collation centers. Now, when there are issues, you challenge. You don't fight. If you say we are bullying, it means that we are only taking the seat without going through the legal process. This is a legal process that has gone through, and that's how we are going. When we raised the issue of Abilekumanov, the Electoral Commission deceived the whole country, nearly caused this country into civil war by telling us that they have collected results, 16 polling stations, but the NDC is the one that is just trying to bully their ways out to allow the elections to go for themselves. But finally, we came to realize that the MPP, the EC themselves came out to say, no, we're not bullying them, but the right thing must be done. And the right thing is that we should rerun Abilekumanov. So it's not about the bullying. If the court says we didn't win the seat, we will abide by it. But as we are going, any seat that comes on legally that we should run for it, as the political party will run, unless otherwise happen.
Well, this issue about necessity also comes up. That 11 months on, where a people have assimilated or they become very used to somebody as their MP, to the point where the MP is even a ranking member on a committee in Parliament. Is it really necessary that you go this tangent?
Is it a new suggestion that is coming up, or we are looking forward in the future to amend these laws? Other than that, Jesse Christian was 2 years in Parliament before they took him to court. So that one be some, because after people knows him, what has done. You see, the law says that a member of Parliament will be sworn in. Even if you challenge him, he will be sworn in. Then the process will go on in the court. Unfortunate for us as a country, it is only presidential election that there's a time limit that you can end the case in court. But when it comes to parliamentary, there's no time limit. It will even take 4 years to rule on the case. So what we need is that the law has worked, and that is what we are looking at. If the people of Pandai believe that after Matthew has been there for 1 year, sharing rights for them during the elections, and they think that is what they need, and they will vote for him the rerun, so be it. But it doesn't change the issue. It's the issue that somebody has been in Parliament and there's a legal issue against him that we shouldn't contest that elections. The people of Pandai did not say that they are okay with the person. The law says that we should rerun the elections. So I don't see those issues, unless maybe in the future, as a country, we will come to say, okay, after elections, whether somebody rig elections or not, we should allow the person should be there. Then I will see the strongest person who go to Parliament, because it will mean that I should find my way to go to win the election, to be sworn in. Once I've been sworn in, then nobody can take me from in Parliament again. Then I can imagine, I'm sure you and I can imagine the kind of elections we'll have in the future. The strong man will win, will go and destroy Panteras, and then you will force people to swear you in. And once you be in Parliament for 1 to 3 months, there should be no rerun, then that's next elections. I don't think this is what the country wants.
Madi, this matter that Matthew Nyindam has taken to the Supreme Court, asking that the order be quashed because the High Court does not have jurisdiction to look into this matter, to the point of even declaring that the elections be rerun. In all of these, If Matthew Nyindam comes out of this successful, is the NDC ready to also go by the decision if it favors Matthew Nyindam?
We will abide by it. The law is the law at any given time. We are all, I've said that we are enhancing our democracy. Democracy, especially the law, has always have the loopholes. So once we go to Supreme Court and there's clarification, and it becomes that they turn the ruling, it's a study all of us, we all learn, meaning that going forward, when you are going for elections, it means that the things that you will say, it becomes a guiding principle for you. If they also, the Supreme Court also upheld the issue, and they say we should be rerun, it will be lessons for the country. So anytime any officer is running an election, how to manage the elections. So it's all about us learning. We are the learning process in our democracy. So we will abide by it and might say that because the court have said no, we will fight over it. No, we won't fight over anything. We will only want to wait on the 16th. Understand the 16th, the Supreme Court will sit on the case and we see what will happen. But we believe that even if they rule against the MPP and Martin, the MPP has a next stage of action they will take. We are waiting for that one too.
But beyond you as a party saying that you would accept it, you know how grassroots is the membership having now pumped themselves up. I believe that within Pandai, your people now are expecting a rerun. If it doesn't go your way, that means you have to go back to your people and explain to them that we knew there was going to be a rerun. Now it cannot happen. How do you organize yourselves in that way too?
That's why we have leaders. That is why the party have leadership. When we started this court case, party took time to explain to the grassroots members that they should wait until the court ruling. After the court ruling, we went there to talk to engage them and tell them they should get themselves ready for elections, awaiting the outcome of the appeals. Now that there's a Supreme Court issue, we're still engaging our people. Whatever the case will be, whatever the ruling will be after the Supreme Court, either for us or not for us, we'll still engage our members on in Bandai and across the country for them to understand what really the issues are.
Well, buddy, let me just switch you a little bit away from Pandai and let's take a look at the petitions that President Mahama has received. Petitions against the OSP and the EC and her deputies. I'll stay on the EC for just a little bit. You've raised some issues about the EC for a while now, especially in the lead up to the elections when you were unhappy about some of the IPAC meetings that you went for, the conduct leading to the elections. Now that these petitions have been leveled against the EC, do you feel vindicated?
I've not seen the petition yet for me to be able to comment whether things that NDC raised are things that is in the petition. Although I heard that they spoke about the incompetence, but the detail of the incompetence I'm yet to see. Again, it is not NDC as a party that has petitioned the Electoral Commission, the president, to remove the Electoral Commission. So I'm not privy to the issues that are used to petition them. But be as it may, yes, we have raised issues against the Electoral Commission. In fact, one of those things are issues that has taken us to Pandai elections, where electoral officer can take on his own to change the collation center to where he has not informed all parties at the time of elections. Remember, the Electoral Commission themselves did it in Accra here, taking a collation center from Eastern Region to Accra. We raised issues of register when they did registration, when we told them that there were issues with the register. They even didn't listen to us. They accused us rather that we are only making a lot of noises. Even I remember that time the president of Ghana, Nana Addo, went to France and tried to tease the NDC that whatever we raise against the Electoral Commission, nothing will come out of it. But finally, they came back to our register issue and said no. What the NDC raised, there's some legitimate issues in it, so they will have to do re-exhibition in the 2024 elections. So issues were raised. I think we have raised issues. The last time I remember when the national chairman made a statement that he would wish that they have been removed, the general secretary of the MPP also came to support that assertion that from where the thing are going, especially on Abdulrahmanov, they also think that when there's opportunity for somebody to petition, they also will petition the commission to be removed. So in fact, this is the first time in their history that both parties are saying that the commission should be removed. But as who's will petition and how it will go, that's another matter altogether. But let's see how it goes.
Randa Kwesiakwa, he is the MP for Achimda. Honorable, you're welcome.
Thank you.
We have been looking forward to seeing you, and it's great to finally see you in person after so many online conversations. Yeah, Maddy, we're also hoping that one day you'll join us in studio. We've been having so many Zoom conversations with you. We wish to see you soon.
Yes. Yesterday when your producer called me, I told you that I wish I would have been in the studio, especially when Alex is coming to your studio. You know, we have more than less than political opponent.
Well, Maddy, as I've welcomed Honorable Akwesiakwa, I'll come back to him. Let me actually land on the EC petition and all. But the issue that we are seeing, that and I call it concerns because you hear the conversations around that. Well, it means that when MPP comes, whoever is the EC, if it happens that this EC goes, MPP also have to do same. And so what are we seeing?
We are becoming mature in our democracy, where we are testing the laws. For the first time, this is the second time commissions have been petitioned. CJ being petitioned, today OSP has been petitioned. Because the law says that when you have some grievance, you can petition a commission. So I think that we are testing the laws. However, I think that we also have to start looking at some kind of regulations that also govern the works of those people. At times, some of the issues, it's not merely from their end. But because that is the guidelines that they use, that is the regulation that they use, they always have an issue that people perceive there's a problem or not. However, again, some people also must also start understanding that politics, as soon as you have been given opportunity to lead any institution, we should put politics aside, because you agree with me that this country, this issue of neutralism is not there. Everybody, in fact, is divided between NDC and MPP. But I want to see people anytime when you give opportunity, whether you are NDC inclined or MPP inclined, act in the confines of the law, and then let people have the trust in you. Other than that, always we have this perception, and people will be raising issues against individuals in these institutions. I mentioned the issue of registrar when we raised the issue of registration. I remember this, the director of the EC Commission, Deputy Commissioner Tete, came out to near a press conference that we are making just empty noise, but he has supervised elections where register has the trees and elephants in it. But then we say that then if you have people like this, then incompetence is there, so you need to be questioned if you then cannot be there as a electoral commission. I have said personally that beyond all issues that we are raising on electoral commission, the issue of Abdulrahmanov is an issue that any election manager who is there as a commission, taking the country to this stage, cannot be trusted to handle national elections anymore. Because if I have a electoral commissioner who came out, held a press conference, went to parliament and told parliament that we have collected the results that has given somebody a winner. You only needed the police to come and give us security to continue with our work. Everybody, most people supported them. Then after that, then the same people come and say that now we have checked the document, we realize that we deceived the country. So now we are going back to do rerun. Now, one political party will say that, oh, maybe there's a pressure. That's why you change your mind into this one. The first one, the other party will say that you were trying to favor other persons because you couldn't follow the rules and regulations of the issues. So if such persons, they will have the opportunity to say they are managing the next elections of Ghana. And there will say elections and they come and tell that they collated 100 polling stations somewhere. And then somebody said, no, I don't agree that you've collated. You can imagine what will happen because it will refer back to the Ablekumanov. That this is the same thing they did in Ablekumanov, but finally they said it is not so. So they themselves also have a problem. Issues have been raised. Yes, we have raised issues. As I said, I've yet to see the issues that have been petitioned. But personally, I have a problem with some of the things that they do. However, I also appreciate the challenges they have, well, because I've engaged them in the IPAC. We know the kind of work that we have done on the field, that also parties also give pressure, at times unnecessary pressure. But largely for me, I think that they have many questions to answer in managing our elections.
Well, Madi, stay with me. I'll be back. Let me speak with Honorable Akwesi Akwa. Honorable, again, welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to my very good friend, Madi.
Well, we've been looking at the Pandai seat and then switch to EC. Let me go back to Pandai just so that you could also share your thoughts on it. Now, Matthew Nyindam is going to the Supreme Court.
Yes.
He wants the Supreme Court to overturn the ruling that the Tamale High Court gave, arguing that Tamale High Court did not have the jurisdiction to look at the matter, seeing as the NDC filed the petition outside of the 21-day window. Madi discredits that. He says that they were still within the window. But in all of these, Matthew Nyindam is your colleague in Parliament from the same side as you. Isn't this a toll that could impede his work as MP should things go his way?
Obviously, because even on the very day that we were doing the budget debate, he was listed to have given his thoughts and on the budget. So as he decided to get on his feet to catch the Speaker's attention to deliver, then the majority chief whip rose up and decided to contest his presence in Parliament, which the Speaker finally later came to give a ruling. So obviously there's no voice of Pandai in Parliament.
Okay.
You understand? And for the past weeks that he's been embattled in this case, obviously whatever efforts that he has for his constituents will be derailed, because he's going to give more attention to this issue, which is a non-starter.
Okay.
We have said that if you look at the number of polling stations that were under contention, it didn't mean anything to have the whole constituency's election rerun. You know, because at the end of the day, if you look at the number of votes within those polling stations, you could take them out and he will still have beaten his contender, who is contested it. And so we do not want to believe that this is one of the means that NDC is gradually wants to turn the country upside down. Because at the end of the day, when you keep touching constitutional bodies like this and constitutional processes like this, you take away the credence that people have in our democratic systems.
Okay.
Clearly, the people of Pandai are not happy. Clearly, the one will wonder what would add so much to NDC if they really get the seats.
Well, NDC says that it's not really about the numbers, it's about justice.
Yes.
They believe that there were infractions within the election.
And so they saw the behavior of their hooligans on the day of election. Do they know why the elections couldn't have been declared in Pandai?
Well, in any case, we have the Deputy Director of Elections on the line.
And I'm sure he's seen the videos. You understand? He's seen the videos. So if these videos are tendered in evidence to show that this is why we could not have the elections declared within Banda, but had to go to Tamale or somewhere else. And it doesn't hold water. Next time, you are telling everybody in the declaration of results, get your people to come and behave the same way they behaved. Are we really entrenching democracy? Are we working to establish democracy? The democratic tendencies of a nation, are we reinforcing it or we are derailing it?
Well, the NDC says that again, and I go back to it, that it's all about justice and making sure that due process goes through. You also mentioned that it would have been that the number of polling stations would not have made any difference. And so would you have expected that the judge would have ordered that there be a rerun in selected polling stations rather than the entire constituency?
You remember time?
Yes.
You know why we gave off time so easily? Because we realized that if we had pursued time the way everybody was asking us to pursue it, if we get even the results, it wasn't going to change anything. Sometimes you do some of these things to save a situation.
For the greater good?
Yes, the greater good. Because, you know, we are describing ourselves as a nation without much resources. We are now going to put in place measures to have a rerun of these whole needless elections. The number of people that each contestant will have to port from or transport from one point to the other in order to garner more votes. The kind of, look at what happened in Ablekuma. If we had not gone to do the elections all over again, were we going to have that kind of situation that had become a dent on our democratic image? That, I mean, very well built men and jump on a woman and stamp on them. Now it's become a dent. You understand? So as leaders of our society, as leaders of this country, we must ensure that we do not give that kind of environment that will expose us, that will make us look so bad in the eyes of other people.
But one would also say, Honorable Akwesi Akwa, that at the end of the day, really, it's not the greater good you should be looking at if injustice is what has been served. Because if I am a constituent within Pandai,
yes,
and I believe that my results, the results that declared my MP winner are not results, yes, my results did not count, so these cannot be quality checked. These results cannot be quality checked. I cannot respect the MP that holds himself as my member of parliament. I would always see him with a certain cloud because these are not genuine results.
I mean, the contestant went to court with certain specific number of polling stations. You understand? It wasn't the whole constituency issues that were taken to court. Judgment, one would have expected, should have been given within that space. But now, judgment comes and says, let's quash all that happened. Let's go back for elections. Somebody who had already spent about 6-7 months in parliament should be removed from parliament and then go for an election again. How about the number of people who voted to make him the parliamentarian with over 3,000 votes?
But then if we look at the number of months he spent, then again, the NDC would also say it's a non-starter because when you took Jachikwesin to court, he had been in parliament for over a year.
You see, the Jachikwesin case cannot be compared to this one. The Jachikwesin case, he should not have been allowed to contest. He was barred from contesting right from the beginning. He knew it. You understand? And so it was right that we went to court just to make sure that anytime anybody wants to come and contest, make sure you purge yourself. Make sure you clean yourself so well.
So it was about setting a precedent.
No, it was to let all of us who are interested in contesting future seats to ensure that we do the right thing, what the law requires us to do. He was not eligible to contest from the word go. It is not about this one that is contested Elections have been declared. He's come to Parliament. He's been given all the accords, everything that he deserves. I mean, he has it. You know, and then all of a sudden somebody brings a case and say, and if you look at the judgment itself, well, the case is progressing to a higher court. So we want to leave it there.
Because I've asked the NDC this before, and I will bring it, I'll situate it in our conversation. And I asked Madi himself that, Madi, you have the absolute majority at the moment, and so a number adding does not really change much. Madi and his NDC tell us that it's not really about having the absolute majority. It's about serving justice. And so now both parties believe that justice belongs to both of you. You believe that Matthew Nyindam should be the MP. Madi believes that it is Wakpao who won the election. And so let us see the rerun through, and if the NDC wins, we accept. If the NDC loses, we accept. How about Matthew Nyindam also accepted such that if indeed he won by 3,000 votes, he goes into the election, the people would give him the mandate once more?
You see, I won by over 10,000 vote difference. Had about 19,000 and something, and my contender had about 8,000 or something, you know. So if somebody comes and say there is an evidence of some few polling stations having issues, and then it goes to court, and then it comes, there's a ruling that you know, those polling stations that had issues makes it easier for all the election results to be nullified, and so we have to go back to elections. The people of Achimota will never accept this one. You understand? I mean, we need to put a human face to whatever we do. Why is it that when it comes to chiefs, when they have issues among themselves, there's a traditional council that settles it? We do not go with issues about chieftaincy to the open courts because of the pedigree of the one we call a chief or the chieftaincy institutions. If we are not careful, I mean, we will end up destroying all our democratic institutions. I'm happy we're going to go to the petitions against the EC and the special prosecutor. Finally, if we're not careful, we are going, and this is going to bring us reset to Parliament.
And you fear that?
Yes, because at the end of the day, it's going to destroy all our democratic institutions. The credibility of our institutions will be found wanting.
We spoke with Matthew Nyindam on the morning show a few days ago. We sought to gauge his morale following all that had happened, especially in Parliament when Honorable Roxanne Daffy-Ametbo had asked that his seat be declared vacant. He said that he felt it was a personal attack. Said he had met Honorable Daffy-Ametbo on the corridors of Parliament, where he had been told that we are coming for your seat. And so for him, everything reeked of personal, a personal hit. And so my question is, what really could be about the Pandai seat that the personality, who is the MP, would feel that he were targeted?
Well, Matthew had been in Parliament before, and he was a leader in Parliament, so he is one of the most experienced people in Parliament. And he went and came back, and ever since he came back, he hasn't treated himself as a backbencher. I mean, he's not even been treated like that. As a former leader, his right of positioning is given to him, and he's been very forceful in Parliament. He's very vociferous in Parliament because he's been there before. He has experience, and he adds up to our leadership. And so if you look at it, we have an extra leader among the rank and file of the MPP caucus. You know, whilst you have the leadership, he's there. And Matthew would always be on his feet. And he will catch the eye of the speaker, and he will make sure he pushes it right. You understand? So these are people that, yes, we may not, our numbers may not match the majority, but our substance and the quality we display. If you have Matthew in there, we always make sure the majority is in quotes useless, and that's what I mean. We always do, and so he will definitely be a target. Okay.
Well, let me come back to you, Madi. You hear Honorable Akwesi Akwa. You hear how he speaks highly of his colleague in Parliament, Madi. Really, you want to take away this person from the people of Bandai? Is that it?
Unless we are saying that people who go to Parliament, most of them are jokers. That's why the law is there, that when it's a joker, then you can go to court on a joker. And then when somebody's a substance, whether he has won an election illegally, you allow him to go. I think that is not right. I think that's not right. Don't forget, Atufosin was a leader of Parliament before the MPP took him to court. In fact, if they have got conviction on him, he could have left Parliament. You remember? So are we saying that because somebody is a legal brain, he's very forceful, and if he does something which is not right, we should allow the person to go? No, that's not we build. This is how we build a country. But I heard my colleague say that if you take the 41 out of the elections, at least the man can still win. The difference in that one, as I get the total vote in the 41, which is 13,000 votes, can tell the result, can change the elections. So if you take the 41 out, it will still not make somebody a winner, because there's 41 polling station result that has not included.
So Madi, why didn't you request or seek for a rerun within those 41 polling stations rather than the entire? Honorable Akwesi Akwa makes he makes an argument for the amount of resources that you would have to commit to running an entire constituency's elections. There are resources from government and resources from the candidates themselves.
You see, I've already told you that if as a country we are looking forward to do amendment in our laws to prevent us to go into rerun or by-election, we can do that. But as it stands now, the law says that there will be rerun, there will be by-election. All of us, when we go to IPA, we talk about all these issues of resources, tension, or those things. But the law, as it says now, it says when there are issues, go for rerun. Now, so this is the issue. This issue of 41 or the entire constituency. Yes, there's a 41 pin sheet issue. Then there's an issue of you leaving the collation center in Bandai to unknown destination that you went to collect a result. Whatever you do there will amount to nothing for the candidate who is contesting elections. So that is why we went beyond this number 41. So I am happy that they are talking. In one breath they say don't go for elections. In another breath they say we have resources will be wasted. The other breath will say, oh, the guy is competent, you allow him to be there. So I don't really understand MPP stand in these issues. Unless they tell us that henceforth, when we are going for elections, Alex will tell me that when I come to force himself, I force myself in his constituency and win the elections, either legal or either right or wrong, and I've been declared after 5 months, I should be allowed to stay in Parliament. No, Alex will not allow that one. Alex will not allow. And I said, Alex doesn't want to see elections in the future where the strong man will win, not law, not the right process. So for me, let's see how the court goes. Whether we like it or not, both candidates have been in Parliament before. Both candidates have been in Parliament. So it's not new. People of Bandai knows them. When you go for real run, they'll decide who they want you to lead. The people will vote. It is not the NDC party who will vote. If they believe that they won the elections by that margin, then they should come on board for us to go and when we believe that we won as enough with the margin that we won in the first elections. When we went the second round, we won the same margin again. So what are they scared of?
What are you scared of? Are you scared?
We are not. We are not. But we feel that this is a bad precedent. You know, like my friend Madi just stated, we are testing the law. We have a very, not too fragile a democracy. We have a democracy that has some gray element, has some gray lines. And so when we are called upon to check what needs to be done for the future, we need to all agree. But this is a very bad precedent. Okay. Like I'm saying, I mean, for elections, a lot of times you would have 1 or 2 infractions. If those infractions do not really matter to the elections, you let it go. As we try to perfect the system. Like I'm saying, I have a vote difference of about 10,000. If tomorrow somebody says that I was going to vote, I was going to cast my vote, I was in the queue 459, but I was not allowed to cast my vote, right? That person has a right to have voted. And that person says, I've been to court. And a judge declares that, look, he had a right to vote, and you didn't allow him to vote. He has evidence to show that he was there at 459. And so because of that, I have nullified all the results. Let's go back to Oda for another elections. And it could happen. Because of this kind of precedent we are setting, it is possible. Somebody could put together an evidence and say that this is a reason why I do not accept this MP as my MP. And so let's go to court and find a means of declaring the results nullified and then go into another elections again.
But finally on this matter, your leader in parliament used some very strong words on the judiciary following the determination or the order by the judge, and he stuck to his guns regardless of the heat that has come his way. You go on his Facebook page and he's stuck to his guns. A few days ago he was reminding the presiding judge that we have yet to see your judgment to read it. With speaker, with leader and his position as leader, leading you as the NPP, and knowing how far his reach is with regards to his voice, isn't he setting up your base, one, and the Ghanaian population against our judiciary?
Well, the judiciary is an institution that is not far from scrutiny. The judiciary is an institution that is not far from criticisms. Once it is a human institution, they may not get it right all the time.
Criticisms such as doing the bidding of your paymaster?
Whose paymaster are we talking about here? That is a judgment that we think that has come, and we think that we are not comfortable with it, and we think that that ruling was influenced.
Really? By Mahdi and his people?
Well, Mahdi is a smart politician. He's been doing elections for years now. He knows all the nooks and crannies. I mean, all the pros and cons of elections. And so, you see, the reason we are upset with this ruling is the fact that the NDC went out there and started talking about the fact that this is the way the ruling is going to go. Like you clearly attested to the fact that the MP in question said that he was told that we are coming after your seats. So if it was the law that we were testing to ensure that we have credibility in our elections, I have always said that it's not an event, it's a process. And so if we really want to look at elections, we want to look at what process had taken us to the final declaration. But if somebody comes to you and tells you we are coming for your seat, especially when you've been declared and you've been in parliament for months, it tells you that there's been some machinations that have gone on. You know, and we already know the way the NDC is resetting, in quotes, all the democratic institutions. I mean, after they've done, they are done with the Chief Justice, now they've started with the EC. I mean, they cannot even pretend. You can always look at what is ahead of them, and you can dictate what they have in under their sleeves. Well, they cannot even hide their plans.
And that's how you feel?
Oh, of course. I mean, we had always stated this, that right after the CJ, they are going after the EC.
When you say this, can anybody make the inference or suggest that then you too, when you were in government, were influencing our state institutions?
Which ones? Which state institution did we influence? Which state institution did we have issues with? Yes, we had issues with a few of them, but we lived with them. We made sure that, because see, we needed to empower them. We needed to make them stronger. You understand? I mean, with this trend, we have already destroyed our democratic institutions. Now we are being told that the Constitutional Review Committee is suggesting that the means by which we take off these heads of these institutions should be changed.
But we have yet to see their report.
Yes, but it's been suggested. There's been a lot of talk about it, that a mere petition cannot hold. We shouldn't continue doing that.
And so you feel that if these petitions are successful, this is the government's way of checking its back?
Obviously, it's the thing they want to do to cover up. Because, I mean, we knew you could easily just get somebody to do a petition and get these people removed. We know the processes, but we thought about the credibility of our democracy. You understand? I mean, for those of us who want to quote Bible scriptures to support our argument, you have the opportunity to do everything, but you are careful with what you do. You understand? I mean, you do not just take the opportunities you have and do whatever you want to do, because at the end of the day, after you've done, the court of public opinion is very much bigger than even the Supreme Courts. You understand? Because at the end of the day, it is the court of public opinion that has given the NDC the power they have now.
Really?
It is not the Supreme Court. It's nothing. It is just the normal human beings in Ghana, the people of Ghana, that have decided that we're giving you the power. And so when there are judgments, when there are rulings from these democratic institutions, the people sit back and they laugh. You may use all the power you have to go against your opponent, to go against the system. But at the end of the day, when the people realize that this is what you've used the power for, at the end of the 4 years, they'll take you back.
Madi, are you taking advantage of the power that the people have given you, taking advantage of the processes, so much so that by the end of the 4 years, the NDC has taken control over all of our institutions? Do you agree with that?
Oh, I will forgive my colleague to say this, that we want to take control of the institutions. If you remember, when this issue of SCG came up, the petition, there were many people who tried to understand the Article 146, that if it's possible, it should be taken out from our Constitution. We are finally finding a way, but now there's a law. That is why Ghanaian, somebody proposed to the Constitutional Review Committee that possible this argument back and forth, where people can just merely petition a citizen to be removed. Why not save this country from this one and change our Constitution? So if something is done on that way at this time, under the leadership of John Dramani Mahama, it doesn't mean that it's NDC or it's John Mahama who is doing it. It is what Ghanaians want at this particular point in time. Assuming the NPP attempted to work on the Constitution, in terms to review the Constitution, we could have resolved this issue before coming to this point. So it's about the state, it's about us as a country, that we are looking at the good side of how it will help us. If Alex thinks that, and MPP think that, changing that clause in our Constitution will not help us. They should also propose that they should remove it, and it should be there. And anybody who comes and I thought that I don't like your face, I will try to petition you to remove, so be it. But we are not trying to say we are taking over the institution, because we believe that the power that we have, it is not our power, it's the Ghanaians who gave us that power. That power can be taken from us any given time. But why did the Ghanaians voted for us with 1.5 million votes as more? They say when you come, change the Constitution. They say when you come, Electoral Commission is not competent when they petition, act on it. They say when the law is acted, allow the law to go up. That is what Ghanaians want from us. After that, when we go for election 2028, we will tell them that this is what you asked us to do, we have done. If you are not satisfied, they will change us. But we believe that they will be satisfied with us and give us a new mandate in 2028.
Okay. Well, Honorable Kwesi Akwah, let's now get into these petitions that the president has forwarded to the Chief Justice. 10 petitions.
Yes.
Against EC, her deputies, and the special prosecutor.
Well, when we were in power, we received more petitions than these ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah. As a human institution, you would have people, you are working with people. People can look at you, certain decisions they are not happy with. And when they know that the Constitution backs them to take you off after they have petitioned, they will petition. You understand? The petition doesn't have to be specific on anything. It is just petitioning. Now we are talking about cronyism. We are talking about incompetence. Who defines incompetence? Who defines incompetence? So because I stole and you punished me and the Constitution gives me an opportunity for me to petition, I'm ready to petition and describe you as incompetent. You understand? So we received more petitions than these ones. We never acted on them because we didn't have a mind of acting on these ones.
But don't you think not acting on them also would did the Ghanaian people a disservice?
Which one? Because you want to look at the face of the petition and look at how credible those petitions are. That's what I'm telling you. You would definitely be. I mean, if you're sitting here, if your HR policy says that people who don't want you in your seat should petition, I bet you by the end of the week you would have gotten about 50 petitions. There are some listeners who will petition against you. There are some workers who will petition against you. So that window of opportunity, I mean, should not be taken as serious as it is if we really want to give credence and credibility to our democratic institutions.
How do you want it to be taken then?
Let's look at those who are petitioning.
Okay.
Let's look at them. Let's look at the face value of it, the petition itself. Because if you as a political party, you as a government, you have a mindset to take away the UC and you come to me to petition, I know posterity is going to judge me one day. And so you cannot use me because I have a future. I have credibility to maintain. So I cannot be used for such a thing. Most often than not, you want to look at the people who are doing the petition. It's not part of our constitutional provisions. But for you as a government, for you as a leader, for you as somebody who is a custodian of our democratic institutions, if you really want to protect our institutions and make sure that you don't expose them to these unnecessary petitions, you want to look at the people who are petitioning before you even get into the face value, the real issues in the petition. You understand? So because perhaps there is an agenda, I mean, this agenda has been projected. It's been projected. I mean, right when they came into office, it was stated the CJ will be taken off, and then after that we'll come after the EC. I'm trying to get that kind, audio. It was circulating on all platforms. Somebody came and said, look, the fellow even continued and said, look, you are all over. If you hear anybody say anything against JM, just let us know. That was when they had come with that kind of power to take over Ghana. That was when they wanted to take over all the other remaining seats in Sawam, Patrick Boma's seat, the Obuasi seat, and all those other seats.
I mean, granted that this is really
and so let me
issue.
end. If we had not been forthright with our systems, if we had not been forthright with ourselves, we were going to allow them to take all those seats. You understand? Because some people went for Thanksgiving. Some people went on TV and declared themselves as having been declared. And so they were getting ready for Parliament. And then we took our time and look at even the kind of hurdles that the police administration put ahead of us in order not to get the right results. So there are a lot of people sitting in Parliament that we know that they had used the same means to come to Parliament. 4 years is just at the corner. We'll get
but then if these people, this means that I'm going away from the petitions to Parliament. I'll come back to the petitions. If these people are in Parliament illegally, you know, they took advantage of the system to install themselves in Parliament, get themselves sworn into Parliament. NPP, why haven't you gone to court? Is it Famanyami Germanenka?
No, you see, there are things when events take too much time for you to give some attention to, you would have lost the ability to establish evidence.
But the NDC were able to establish evidence 11 months on for the Pandai seats.
You know, they started right after the elections. Right after the elections, they started, putting these things together. Achimota is an MPP stronghold. I mean, I do not think the NDC would ever dream of taking away the seats from MPP.
Are you sure?
But on the day of declaration, we sat throughout the night. We sat throughout the night. And we didn't know what was happening. They had deployed lawyers all over. Every constituency, the NDC had a lawyer. And they were going through their pink sheets. We didn't know what was happening. I was so tired. I needed to go and rest. So apparently, even Achimota, which is a stronghold of our party, there were those attempts. They realized that there was nothing they could do. And we asked, and so there are some votes differences that they want to. So it was happening all over. It was one of the reasons why the results.
So you were outmanned as the MPP? You were outmanned?
Not necessarily, but I think that they had a mindset. They had a strategy to take more seats.
But in this case, you were the government in power.
Yes.
You had.
Everybody knows that we took things for granted.
You did?
Yes, we did. We did. 2024, we took a lot of things for granted.
The complacency of incumbency.
Maybe so. Maybe so. And we've learned our lessons. We're putting ourselves together.
And so that is why, for these constituencies you talk about, if what you're saying is anything to go by, they do not have the right representation in Parliament.
You see, there are about 5-6 seats that were in contention right after the elections. And we had to force our way to get the results declared properly. If we had not done that, I mean, there was one particular seat that the guy just gave up. And so some of his party people had the pink sheets. And so it was added to the ones that needed to be brought to Accra. Look at Tepa. What happened? Look at Ayensuano. What happened? Burning the EC office and where they had kept the collated figures and all that. I mean, these are lessons we have learned. We didn't want to get our party security, our personal security involved. We wanted to be law-abiding. We knew we were in government, so whatever laws that we had passed, we needed to follow the laws and abide by those laws. Our vigilante groups, we disbanded them and all that. But look at what happened. I mean, everybody understands what happens. And now we have our own faithfuls blaming us. Now look, they were prepared. They didn't obey the laws of the country. They decided to protect themselves.
And so for the MPP, you think you should be also looking at protecting yourself?
Oh, well, I think that we're not just going to be there and repeat what happened in 2024. 2028, we'll go for elections. 2028, we'll protect our ballots.
You will. Madi, you're hearing this from your very good friend, Honorable Akwesi Akwa. 2028, they will protect the ballots. For you, I mean...
I think that for my Alex is saying this out of frustration. They've always protect their ballots. But Alex have confirmed that all this while that they say, and these have no lawyers, and these have no, but rather we have lawyers, they don't have lawyers. So they bring hooligans at the police station, collation centers, whilst we brought lawyers going through the process. So we were ready right from day one, knowing that MPP has a rigging machinery in every election. So take your time, send lawyers at the collation center right from day one. They sat there, and that is why you saw our cases going to court, challenge some parliamentary states. You understand? So we didn't come there just to say we are coming to. We didn't bring hooligans there. We brought lawyers. I am happy he's confirming that we brought lawyers who went through the pink sheet to check whether stronghold or no stronghold. Say, take your time and check. Every result matters. And that is the outcome of what we are seeing today. That you saw that people have gone to court to challenge issues. So I'm happy Alex is saying that they didn't have lawyers. They have people who are dancing on the stage. You remember during 2024 election?
Nadia, we didn't have lawyers. We have lawyers.
Dancing and taking things for
in fact, in my constituency,
and we were taking our time.
In my constituency, I had 2 lawyers.
You did?
I had 2 lawyers from the MPP. I had 2 lawyers. You had 1
Alex,
lawyer. And even that lawyer who came, I doubt whether he was a real lawyer.
Alex, you see in one breath, you said we brought lawyers to work at the coalition center.
You have people who came describing themselves as lawyers.
It doesn't matter the 2 lawyers you have, but you need a competent lawyer to be able to resolve the issues. Today we are here because you have admitted that we brought lawyers at the coalition centers of 276, and that has given us this number of votes that we won elections. You say you will learn from what we did for 2028. We are welcome. We will train you. We want to have such things in 2028. To have intellectual engagement at the coalition center, not hooligans. Not when you said you forced your way to get 6 policing. No. I encourage you, train your lawyers.
You believe they forced their way to the 6 seats that they were able to get? The MPP forced their way.
He said they forced themselves to, but those seats, he knows that we are still in court on those seats. He knows. He knows that whom is still impending. He knows it's still whom is pending. He knows.
Okay.
Alex, you see, that's why I say I like Alex in terms of a friend when it comes to communicating with the party issues. The reality is that Ghana, we are in the point that now people have come to understand democracy. We're not there yet. So people will be asking questions, legal issues, people will ask. We should allow this thing to go on. I heard him saying that the petitioners, if they bring the petition, Nanado received more petition, but they didn't act on it. It is not in the hands of Nanado not to act on any petition. You know that. If a petition is sent to the President of the Republic, for him to submit it to the Chief of the
I think
CG.
Yes, since we are talking about petitions, the OSP has responded to this matter on his Facebook page. He talks about the things that people would not want us to know that we have to know. The OSP, since you came in power, has been having press conferences, going after issues. The latest is the SML case. Why are we intent on removing Kissie Jabeng from his position?
I'm saying that it's petition. The law says that when you have an issue against those officers, you petition the president. The president will submit the petition to the CJ, Chief Justice. The president have done that one. If CJ OSP have issue to respond, they should go and respond there.
Okay.
They should go and respond there. As for Facebook, we all have Facebook.
Don't you fear that we are creating a certain mindset that President John Dramani Mahama is all for the removing of certain individuals? Starting from Justice Getchu Tokonu now to EC Boss and the special prosecutor. We are setting a certain precedent and also putting President beg your pardon, President Mahama in a certain light.
These are not precedents. Senator Say was removed by Nanado. Was he a president? That was the first time in the history of the country that EC chairperson was removed. Nanado removed Officer General. Where the Constitution said what he did was illegal. So are we saying that because it's on Mahama today, when somebody petition, it's wrong for the Mahama to act on the Constitution? In fact, if you petition the president to remove somebody, and the John Mahama decided not to act on it, Alex will take him to court to be impeached. Alex will go to court that the Mahama has flouted the Constitution, so he should be impeached. You understand? This is not the precedent that I'm saying that the issue of petition, that if somebody petitions, doesn't mean you have removed. If you're able to defend your issues and nobody has a problem with you.
Okay.
Let's see how the petition, not how the committee will act. But if you don't, you are not able to defend your issue, it's not the problem of the president. It's not the president of Ghana. It's not President Alex. But we are saying that John Mahama is acting on the Constitution that somebody has petitioned, a Ghanaian has petitioned him, and has submitted it to the CJ. Nanado has been petitioned. According to Alex, he said Nanado sat in the house and then decided not to push it. That's what Alex just told you. my friend. He said that the ABENA bill decided not to take it out. And in that case, he also said that we should also be looking at the individuals who petition. The Constitution said you should be a tall or short person to petition anybody.
Well, Maddie, I'm almost out of time, and so let me come to Honorable Akwesi Akwa and then pick his final thoughts on this.
Don't mind Maddie and the way he wants to do his jandam this morning. He knows what I'm talking about. Yes, as citizens of a nation, we all have equal rights. But I'm saying that if the Constitution gives you an opportunity to petition for the removal of very critical state institutions like that, you just don't accept any petition as it is. You need to scrutinize the petition. Otherwise, you are given the opportunity to have floods of petitions, because people will just petition because they have the opportunity to petition. You understand? And so what I'm calling for is a kind of system where people don't get encouraged to just petition anyhow. So I will be surprised that that particular aspect of our constitution will stay after the review program, because once it's been done, people now know that every petition must be looked into. And so people are now going to go into the constitution and find where petitions can allow certain people to be removed. You understand? And so we just need to be careful and have very good efforts, make conscious efforts in promoting and protecting our state institutions, very critical ones, that we don't have to subject them to political pressure. Yes, I know, even Trump himself, when he became a president, had issues with the judiciary. Every president who comes wants to have total and absolute control. But that is not what governance is about. That is not what democracy is about. Democracy would have to follow the rule of law. Democracy would have to follow separation of powers. Democracy would have to also look at the checks and balance system. These are things that we need to work on. And for any person who is an executive president and is seen as a leader of the nation, it is for you to make sure you protect these ones.
Okay, and including protecting the OSP that many are saying has been incompetent in his office as the OSP. Concerns have been raised about the OSP's penchant for rather coming into the public domain to tell people about what is happening rather than go at the issues. And so the OSP is one that many have deemed incompetent.
Well, I have issues with the OSP. I've had cause to criticize him. I've had cause to say things against him. But I do not think I want to be part of the people who want to get him removed.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No. These are institutions that have been protected by our laws. You understand? And so if you are a true Democrat and you respect the dictates of democracy, you want to do everything to protect them. But rather, you have a voice. You have a voice in his activities. You have a voice in whatever he does. And like I'm saying, do not take the court of public opinion for granted. It's the biggest court we have.
Okay.
You understand? So if you are not careful and you get exposed to how you are treated, you know, you get exposed to the fact that the court of public opinion is not happy with your activities. I mean, it's the biggest court that anybody can have. At the end of the day, that is the kind of judgment that the public gives you. It's a credible judgment, and it goes after you. People, we are careful of what we do. For now that I sit here as a member of parliament, I know 4 years I need to be careful with what I do, because whatever I do now will be used against me in the next 4 years in the elections.
I mean, since I have you here, I may as well pick your thoughts on your party, your internal politics.
Yes.
We have a few months to end this year, and then after that, all of us as Ghanaians will be turning our attention to you on 31st when you vote for a leader. Up until now, it's still boiling waters. We haven't seen a cooling, and it doesn't look like there's going to be a cooling yet. You belong to the Baumia, should I call you a faction, or the Baumia camp?
The Baumia campaign, the Baumia project.
It's a Baumia project.
Yes,
is
it's
that
a
what
project. Yeah, I call it a project. I don't want to call it a faction. I don't want to call it a camp. It's a campaign group. You understand? So I prefer, because you know, when you use the term camp, faction, then you're already bringing factionalism.
Okay.
So for me, it's a project to bring Baumia back.
How is that project going?
Oh, it's doing so well. It's doing so well because you see, at the end of the day, the average NPP delegate, the polling station executive, the electoral area coordinator, the former executives, they believe in one thing. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has served the NPP well, has served Ghana so well. And so we did not do certain things right. We know why we came to opposition. It is not him. So it is best we have him leading us again.
Concerns have been raised about your story about it is not him. It looks like you want to create a certain hedge around Dr. Bawumia so that you who support him rather absorb the heat whilst he cools off behind. Why don't you let him receive all the heat that he would receive and maybe he comes out refined?
Dr. Bawumia has received all the heat that is there for him, and is one of the reasons why, for me, I'm rooting for him. You know, even the people who are contesting him now, the other 4 people, very few of them, I think about 2 or 3, are those who are coming against him. And the things they are saying about him are all lies. It is just because they want the flag bearership. Because these are people who campaigned with us for him. They were on the campaign trail with us.
Okay.
You understand? They said very good things about him. We knew him to be the right person.
Honorable Kisiaka, let me keep you on the knowing him to be the right person and pick Madi's thoughts on this. This is your major opponent in elections. Madi, thank you for joining us once again. Finally, on all of the conversations, maybe I'll let you land on the NPP's internal politics. As the NDC, when you look at the NPP's internal politics, what are you taking as your lessons for when yours also begins?
So far, I'm not taking any good lessons from the NPP campaign.
Okay.
Because sitting back, the NPP told us that when it comes to democracy, a special electoral campaign, they always campaign on issues. But if you follow the NPP campaign, this campaign on issues is not there. It's about accusation. This person is a criminal. This person is that. And these are the things that I'm surprised that the NPP that we know have gone to tell us they are the donors of the electoral issues. They are doing these things to us as a country. But we wish them doing well. We believe that you are going to choose the weakest among the link, which is Bawumia. We are very convinced that they will bring Bawumia because if you look at all the analysis they are doing, they are not doing any scientific analysis. The analysis they are doing is he has gone for election 3 times, so let him go there for the first he will win. He has gotten 41%, I got 80% to get there. But even that person who has gotten 80%, in all the rerun and by-election that we went, Akwitia, they lost it. The people never believe in MPP again. So let's see. They will elect Bawumia as if you look at it, you are sure that they will elect Bawumia. But Alex is saying that when they elect Bawumia, those who campaigned for him previously, they shouldn't campaign. They should continue saying what they said against him in the 2028 elections. Because you see, when you are going for elections, Alex knows, you will say things. After elections, you come together and campaign for the candidate that has led. But today, the MPP is refusing that the people who campaign for Bawumia in the 2024 elections, they believe in based on what is presented. They have no option. But today you are saying that because they campaign for him to have an option, it means that Bawumia is the best person. So be it. We don't have a problem. As for Bawumia, when you bring him 10 times against any LDC candidate, we'll beat him.
Okay.
As for 1.7, it is the list of the votes that we gave them. I'm saying, let me end with this. You see, I'm saying that the MPP best way of in elections is rigging. And for us, we have solved the problem of rigging. We have blocked that rigging system. So forget it. Whoever they will bring, that rigging system will not work again against NDC in elections.
Okay. So Honorable Kisiaka Amadi says that as for Dr. Bawumia, whomever he comes to meet will beat him. And so for a candidate like that, would you still be throwing your support behind?
So Madi should be able to tell us why they've gone behind the clergy and some other people to try and get the president a third thing.
Is that so?
It's in the public domain. Madi knows about it. You know about it. There are discussions and the possibility of getting the president another term, even though he said he's not coming. But we don't trust what he says, because they know that there is no credible candidate that can face Dr. Bawumia. Now, even if they are able to secure him a third term, whatever it is, Ghanaians are going to vote them out of office.
But are you going to allow that as parliamentarians, lawmakers, a third term?
There are a lot of things that we don't like. There are a lot of things that we haven't allowed, but they are pushing. They are pushing with their numbers. Now they control Ghana. So they want to do whatever it is. Yes, control all the institutions, control all the systems. But 4 years is just around the corner. I am happy Madi himself has accepted the fact that the Ghanaian people are those who give them power. You know, during their elections, their primaries, that was the first time we realized that whatever the president carries in a bottle that was under a cover was something else apart from water. It was said by a contender.
You could chalk it to party politics.
That's it. So you see, whatever you say to another now doesn't really matter. Whatever was said against His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he's a president now. Whoever thought that he was going to be a president? It was the first time somebody who had been giving some abysmal performance and has been sent home will come back. Why did they not present other people, but presented him consistently? Because they knew that the Ghanaian people, when you have presented people consistently, it gets to a point where the Ghanaians would say, oh, let's now consider him.
And so that's what you are doing with Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia.
I'm asking, the reason they continuously presented John Dramani Mahama and now His Excellency the President. So that is our matter.
Okay.
They should deal with this. There are two people who are coming. Madi, the last time I saw you, I asked you a question. Do you know about the Johnson & Johnson tickets?
Madi can see you.
The Johnson, yes, the Johnson & Johnson ticket. The Johnson & Johnson ticket.
You should let us know what that ticket is.
Madi should be able to tell you.
Madi.
And then you have one person who has decided to be jogging, trotting throughout Ghana to show how fit he is for the presidency. And then one person has all of a sudden decided to be wearing suit, be a gentleman, no more fugu, no more batakari. Now he wants to wear a presidential suit for people to see that he can fit in the presidency. He is somebody who can be a president.
So we should expect Madi to decode this for us.
And Madi knows about them. Madi knows all that I'm talking about, you know. So the Johnson & Johnson seats, you should go find out. You should go find out the one who is taking to jogging, physical exercise, and making sure everybody sees him not to be that chubby and to see him to be somebody who...
So you don't think that any of these people you are describing will be a match for Dr. Bawumia?
No. But what I'm telling you is that they already have started seeing some heat in their corner. Just under 1 year. They are not being fair to President Mahama. Just under 1 year. You haven't launched a lot of the programs. In fact, you've launched them, you haven't started doing them. And now you want to take him out of office. Why? Instead of you sitting down and helping him to see how you can bring 24-hour economy into proper perspective for people to believe Formula 133, which has remained in the campaign streams, campaign space. It is now left for how to bring it into reality. All the promises.
Well,
you haven't been able to do that. You want to become a president.
Well, Honorable Akwesiakwa, thank you. I just thought to bring this in, but it looks like this is a conversation. If I leave with Madi, you go at it for about 3 hours.
It's a conversation that I want Madi here for us to do. Then I'll give him all the payment, you know, the parents, you know, the Johnson & Johnson seats,
Madi,
the Johnson & Johnson tickets.
Madi, so when should we be expecting you in here to come and meet Honorable Akwesiakwa?
Sure. One day they appear on the studio.
All right. Madi, thank you so much for your time this morning. Honorable Akwesiakwa, thank you so much. I wish we could go and have some more conversations, but my time is fast spent. But I thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today.
It's a pleasure to be here. I promise I'm going to make it regular here.
Thank you. We're most grateful. Madi, we'll be also looking forward to seeing you here. Thank you. But that's all for our main discussion this morning here on ABC in the Morning. I thank you for joining us. We'll take a very quick break. When we come back, we bring you the latest in the world of sports and hear what you also have to say on Ghana Speaks. Stay with us.
Mommy, who is going to do my wedding jollof?
Oh, Kwame. You know our secret, right?
Yeah.
Efia.
Yes, me. I've got it.
Now, add your Chino jollof mix.
The perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time. And there you have it, your original Ghana jollof.
Jollof so good.
Jollof so good. Tasty, yeah.
What is going on here?
Enjoy jollof the Ghana way. Gino jollof is made with the perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time.
This
advert is FDA approved.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar, roasted granules. Just add water. Sharp my soakings make ready. Taste and energy. Made easy. I'm a match winner, but the real champion is Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Champion taste.
Also available strawberry, coconut, and chocomore. This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine a sport without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
On the show, we shall start by interrogating your athletes of matters with expert insight from our renowned medical professionals, providing you with actionable advice and cutting-edge knowledge to prevent injuries and optimize performance. Then we'll connect you to the talking points where we'll bring you the big names, the famous faces, and leading voices on our radar in the world of sports for a lively conversation and diverse perspective.
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the talking point. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
On Ghana Focus, we shall spotlight our domestic leagues and heroes of other sporting disciplines.
I'm James Markel, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures from the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans. I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC with Victor and the team as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
Because it's your voice that matters and your voice alone we want to hear. 053916 1609. It's time for guys. Call us. Let's hear what you have to say.
welcome to Streets We Day. On this episode, we are at Circle going to ask people a few questions about the new products of Gino. Stay tuned and follow me. Pacho, your first say? Okay. Into your first question, one say, we should Gino adverts now. Omo nyumbi, and they know omo can be woho. Omo can they?
No, my Chris, hi, and I know.
3 sentences, 3 words. Wait me a catch me, Gino, Bibi. Wait me a catch me.
Oh, let's do you wanna.
But I want to mean Gino.
Wow, I love Gino. I can't miss this one. Is Gino pepper and onion?
Yes, that's correct. So here's your gifts for it.
Wow, thank you.
Hey, Gino. Tomatoes paste. And yeah, the onion, pepper womb, bibia womb. What the bunch of love for no Gino, about your love.
Gino.
Perfume rice. I perfume rice. Different ones, Saba.
Aye. But we tomato paste near there, Gino.
As for that, the
perfume
rice. No papa near.
Rent back with the beer open. Come on, come and see what. Where this guy? My friend, see before.
It's the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Win cash daily, weekly, and a grand prize of 1.2 million Ghana cedis. Just reload or buy a bundle with Telecel Cash to earn points and stand a chance to win big. Dial *500# or visit the Telecel Play app to obtain and start winning in the Telecel Too Much Money promo. Terms and conditions apply. This promo is regulated by the NLA on the Caritas Lottery platform.
When is campaign? If you're a baby, many schedule no. If you know, meto etiaka. Inti ene, uno ba no mpe baby amobeda. Oh, na abeka. You did too much money. No matter.
Telecel, connecting energies.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. A delicious tomato mix with tomato, pepper and onion. No grinding, no blending. Ya yenyi na da da da. So pa, mediane no abe.
Come on, Gino, do your magic.
And papa, no kunu abefi.
Tasty magic.
And your daddy trying to kiss keke.
Gino Magic Pepper and Onion. The magic that brings them home.
This advert is FDA approved.
Imagine a sport without rules, a game without passion, an arena without chance. What drives the champions? What fuels the rivalry? What separates the winners from the rest in the world of sports?
On the show, we shall start by interrogating your athlete's health matters with expert insight from our renowned medical professionals, providing you with actionable advice and cutting-edge knowledge to prevent injuries and optimize performance. Then we'll connect you to the talking points where we'll bring you the big names, the famous faces, and leading voices on our radar in the world of sports for a lively conversation and diverse perspective.
Eugene Soti, your chief data guy on the talking point. On the African Tracker, I'll break down the performance of your favorite African players abroad, scrutinizing every detail and exploring the nuances and rules governing the game.
Meet us in your area for Area Take as we plug into sports perspective and hear your thoughts on every play of the game.
On Ghana Focus, we shall spotlight our domestic leagues and heroes of other sporting disciplines.
I'm James Makion, your go-to expert for everything local. I'll review the fixtures From the locker room to the pitch and from the management to the fans, I've got you covered.
Oh la la! Don't miss out on the double excitement. It's a fun pack, pulsating and complete wrap of everything in sports, from boxing to football, tennis, NBA and more. Sports World on ABC with Victor and the team as every Wednesday from 7 to 8 p.m. Sports World on ABC. Sports beyond borders.
Hey, so mommy, who is going to do my day jollof?
Oh, Kwame. You know our secret, right?
Yeah.
Efia.
Yes, me. I've got it.
Now add your Chino jollof mix.
The perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time. And there you have it, your original Ghana jollof.
Jollof so cool.
Jollof so cool. Tasty, yeah.
What is going on here?
Enjoy jollof the Ghana way. Gino jollof is made with the perfect blend of tomatoes, pepper, and fine herbs and spices to ensure a consistent taste every time.
This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back. We sincerely apologize for that loss in sound, that technical challenge. But let's bring you the latest in the world of sports. James Ohinba Makion joins me here. Makion, how are you?
But I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine. I saw replay yesterday.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
It was nice.
You should invite me on replay. The way I've been inviting you onto the morning show, Makion.
Don't worry, we will invite you.
You invite me. I'll be there.
Sports also.
It's in the evening.
Yeah, I don't want the evening one.
Well,
I'll be the replay and the build up.
Yes, I'll be there.
All right, sharp.
What do we have for the people?
We have a lot this morning in terms of sports. Today, the Black Queens of Ghana are playing against England, the Lioness of England, in Southampton, and it's the first time the Black Queens are playing England national team. Remember, England won the Euros 2025. Black Queens also won bronze in Morocco in the WAFCON, and this is the first time we are meeting, so it's very historic. Kim Lasbiot-Pegren has been speaking ahead of the game tonight. The game we played at 7 p.m. He's been talking about the preparation of the team, how the new players that are arrived are coping, what they are doing tactically to also improve and also beat England tonight. Remember, England is a big team. These are the sort of friendly games that we have been calling for. Because a year by this time, we're not playing any friendly games. Nora Hopslav was in charge. She was crying for this kind of friendly games. We're not giving it to him. But fortunately for Kim Lasbiot-Pegren, he has these friendly games. Also, we have the AFCON qualifiers to prepare for. So this time around, playing against England is a big test for him. So let's have a listen to him ahead of the clash.
Always nice to be back and see the staff, meet the players, always with a smile on the face, and have been one good training so far and one good friendly game. I mean, we had a short training, so maybe not potentially so much from that one, but we played a good game, 2 times 35 minutes against a good team in England, and we did well. We rotated the squad. Everybody played a little bit at least, so that was fun to see all of the players, and I'm happy to have this opportunity as a coach to use the whole squad. I mean, it's you always as a head coach need to keep an eye on them and see them in the club team if possible, of course. And they're all in different situations. Some of them are playing 90 minutes week by week, and some they are not doing it, of course. But the good things.
So that was Kemras Bjorkogren speaking ahead of the clash tonight. Remember, the game comes up at 7 p.m. at the St. Mary's Park in Southampton. So we are looking forward for the Black Queens beating the Europe champions. So let's see how it goes. But still on some local matters and still on some national team issues, Coach Otuado has been touring Spain. Last week he visited Kwesi Sibo at Real Oviedo. Yesterday he visited Abdul Mumin at Rayo Vallecano. Remember, the World Cup is coming up, so he's going around speaking to the players who are eligible to also play for the Black Stars of Ghana. So as you can see on the screen, that's Abdul Mumin. He got injured when playing for the Black Stars in one of the World Cup qualifiers. Since then, he's not been able to feature for his team, but he's been recovering from last month. So it was prudent that. So
Francis Abu is not the only one who's gotten.
Yeah, like Fatah Isaac, who got injured during national team assignment. Abdul Mumin, Francis Abu. So
well, there's so many times we've had conversations about why the clubs are hesitant to release the players.
Yeah. So you see, our pitches, when it comes to the national team, our pitches is a problem. Sometimes the players are also recovering from some injuries, but they want to play. And you know, these injuries, because of every little twist, the fine margins, you get injured. So for Abdul Mumin, it was very unfortunate that he got injured. He's one of our most trusted centre backs. If you take away Alexander Jiku, Mohamed Salisu, he is the next in line, and he's a player that Otuado trusts very much. So as Otuado is touring Spain here, he had to go to Rayo Vallecano yesterday and speak to him about his chances in the World Cup and how he would also like him to be part of the team going forward. And the player is recovering so well. And we are hoping that prior to the World Cup, he won't get injured, because he's one of our fine centre-back players. He also scores a lot of goals when it comes to the Spanish La Liga. So that's it in the camp of the Black Stars. But let's head to the Ghana Premier League. Yesterday, a game was played. 11 wonders for the first time won in the Ghana Premier League season. They are on bottom of the league, Lord, and they've changed about 3 coaches so far in the Ghana Premier League. We've only played about 13 games. They've changed about 3 coaches so far. So there was former Black Stars player Odate Lamte was in charge. Last week, Jay Sapon also resigned, and yesterday against Dreams FC, they recorded a 2-0 victory over Dreams FC, who are also not being consistent. So for 11 wonders, they have recorded their first win ever in the Ghana Premier League. They will be looking to build on. They have a new coach who is in there, Emmanuel Ado. He is a caretaker manager in there. So they recorded a 2-goal lead in that particular one. So let's enjoy. This is the first goal. Let's enjoy. Okay, so let's go on. We can't really enjoy that highlights there, but let's move on to AFCON matters. A lot of things are happening this month. This month the AFCON will be on in Ghana.
It's not in AFCON, and I'm sad.
Whenever I'm going to sleep, I think about it. So it be true say we don't qualify for the AFCON, or it be joke?
It be true.
Yeah, we didn't qualify, but the nations that have qualified have started releasing their squad. Let's start from Cameroon. And yesterday something interesting happened. Andre Onana, Manchester United goalkeeper, has been dropped
from the
squad. Vesan Abubakar, the captain of Cameroon, has also been dropped.
Why?
And again, their coach Mark Brace has also been sacked.
A few days,
16 days to the AFCON.
Wow.
Andre Onana is not going to feature. Vesan Abubakar is not going to feature. Who is the captain? He's their main man. Andre Onana is also one of their main men. And their coach Mark Brace has been sacked. Guess who did this? Samuel Eto'o,
who has been voted
3 days ago. He was voted as he was reappointed as the FECAFOOT's president. And when he was reappointed, these are the decisions that he has taken.
Why?
He has sacked the coach because, first of all, let me list the things that he listed for sacking the coach. He says that Mark Brace has been disrespectful and insubordinate towards the FECAFOOT leadership. He has been organizing press conferences which has not been authorized by FECAFOOT. He has been releasing squad which was not authorized by FECAFOOT. So the issue is the Ministry of Sports in Cameroon and also FECAFOOT have an issue. Mark Bryce was brought in by the Ministry of Sports.
Okay.
And the Ministry of Sports pays these players. So there is this tension between the Ministry of Sports and FECAFOOT. And now that Eto has been reappointed as the head of the FECAFOOT, he has gotten more authority. So Andre Onana was against Samuel Eto. He is in the camp of the ministry.
Okay.
Vincent Abubakar is also in the camp of the ministry. So all these players, there are other key players who are in
Vincent Abubakar has proved very stable for...
They don't care.
But
they have other
seeing
players.
as Eto is, was a player, I mean, he's a football person or football people, as you were saying in Ghana. This is interesting.
This is interesting. So Andre Onana won't be there. Vincent Abubakar won't also be there. But the last time Cameroon didn't send their key players to the AFCON, they won it in 2017 with Benjamin Mokambo and the other guys. So let's see what really happens there. But let me quickly go through the squad of Cameroon. In terms of the goalkeeping department, you have Simon Omisola, you have Davis Epasi. In the defensive departments, you have Christopher Wu, you have Chamedu, you have Castello, we have Carlos Baleba of Brighton and Hove Albion, we have Ebimbe, we have Boyomo, Koto, and even in the striking department, notable among them, there's no notable player among them, but we have Brian Mbeumo of Manchester United and Jean Onana. Now let's move on. Let's move on to the DR Congo squad. DR Congo has also released a squad for their AFCON. But another interesting thing is that Jean Wissa of Newcastle United will miss the AFCON due to a knee injury he got during his time with the DR Congo national team. But out of the players that have been announced, only 5 were born in DR Congo. The rest are foreign-based players who were born outside. Some of them, majority of them were born in France, some were born in Belgium. So we have Festin Majele in there. He plays for Pyramids FC. He's the only African-based player in the squad. We have Cedric Bukambu, we have Elia in there, we have Noah Sadiki, goalkeeping department, we have Fayulu in there, we have Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who just neutralized for the team. We have Mosoko, and we also have Axel Twanzembe and Chancellor Mbemba in the squad. These are the notable names in the squad. Let's move on to the Bafana of South Africa. They have also named their squad for the AFCON tournament, and interestingly, one of their key players, Tabo Molizani, is on the standby list, but there's obviously Tebo Mokoena. He's one of their key players for them. In the forward department, they have Lai Foster of Burnley, they have Shifo Imbuli, and also their goalkeeping department, you have Warren Williams, who is their captain, doing so much well for them. Now let's move on to the Egyptian squad that has also been announced. To the Egypt squad, there's obviously Mohamed Salah in there, who is their captain. Mustafa Mohamed is also there. Osama Faisal is in there. For the goalkeeping department, they have Mohamed El Shanawi, Ahmed El Shanawi, Mustafa Sober, and Mohamed Sobi. Yeah, when you go to the midfield department, they have Hamdi Fati, Mawan Atia, Ibrahim Adel, Mustafa Fati, and obviously Omar Mamouche of Manchester United. So gradually the squad is being announced, and we'll bring you up to date in everything that's happening.
Yeah, I hear, and I want you to correct me if it's wrong, but I hear we're moving from the 21-man squad to 28. Is it for the AFCON?
For the AFCON it's 26-man
26,
squad,
okay.
but for the World Cup we might get like 30-man squad for the World Cup.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
So the AFCON is just 26-man squad.
I always look forward to our conversations here because I get to learn some more about what we
on Friday the World Cup draw will come on. Ghana will see which country and also which country will be hosting us, whether it will be the USA, Canada, or Mexico, and the countries that we'll be playing against. But before we go, yesterday the Golden Ball Award took place. The Golden Ball Award is for players under 21 years who are doing so well, and Desiree Doué of PSG won that particular award.
Okay.
He plays for Paris Saint-Germain in the French Liga. Last season he scored 16 goals, gave 14 assists, scored 2 goals in the UEFA Champions League final against Inter Milan, also won the player of the match in the UEFA Champions League final. So he is the golden boy, when currently Lamine Yamal is no more the golden boy. Desiree Doué is now the golden boy of 2025. Okay. So Abena, that'll be all for sports.
Interesting. Thank you, Makion. Thank you so much for bringing us the latest in the world of sports. And that's how we wrap up today's show here on ABC in the morning. Thank you to Tony Goodman, spokesperson at the Ministry of Health, for speaking to us earlier. Thank you to Madi Jibril, Deputy Director of Elections for the NDC, and Alexander Kwesiakwa, MP for Achimda. Thank you to you who watched the show. Most grateful to you. I saw some comments on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are most grateful. For more news, you should visit our website, www.abcnewsgh.com. Also interact with us via our socials at abcnewsgh_. We'll post snippets of the conversations on our socials so that you can enjoy them. On our YouTube, we'll be posting the full conversations, and so you don't want to miss out on that at all. Peggy Nyakwambano comes your way at 12 p.m. with the midday news. You should also be looking out for some of the conversations we've been having here on ABC News GH, especially the sports conversations, and you will enjoy all of them. Today is Tuesday, a very beautiful day, the most beautiful day in the week. I wish you well. I pray for you that everything you set out to achieve, you achieve all of them, so that your heart is content. Continue to keep faith and hope alive. Do not relent in your pursuit of happiness and of greatness. They are within your reach, and you will be able to achieve all of them. Thank you to the production and technical team for putting together today's show. I am ABENA MANTE. I wish you well. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Playing for your country, easy. Scoring, easy. Winning, easy. You know what be easy now? Kivo 4-in-1 Gary mix. Easy. It gets everything inside. Gary, creamer, sugar.